Also want to touch less grass as well.
How so?
Want to play more video games.
Fuck yeah, man. I do, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah, I do, but I don't at the same time. I'm like, I can do that in my retirement.
Dude, yeah, sometimes I play games and I think, man, was it worth it? Was it worth losing a day? Like I like
even if it's a game you're enjoying, right?
It really depends. Like Elden Ring, I never felt that. Like the shit was so god tier that I felt like I had to.
That's what you get for being a fucking TFT player, man.
But TFT, oh yeah, TFT. If I spend a day playing League or TFT or Overwatch, something like that, I do regret it always. I always regret it.
That's why I stopped playing competitive games, because it always feels like it's so easy to get addicted and into the grind.
Oh, yeah.
But I always felt like after I finished playing it, I'd wasted a day, especially if you're on the ranked table and you lose. You lose rank. You're like, okay, I made negative progress today, and I didn't do anything.
I just got annoyed.
But that's why it's great. Like in places like I really enjoy like as you well know, portable gaming. I don't particularly prefer it, but I do like the fact that I don't feel bad if I whip out my laptop and play a game of TFT at the airport.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, I don't feel guilty about that. I'm like, I'm killing time and I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Which is why I like
the Steam Deck. You like a lot.
I fucking love my Steam Deck. Start the Trail series now. That's my New Year's resolution.
Catch up on the Trail series.
This guy says he wants to fucking play more games. Bro just signed his like life away.
I'm like,
if you don't know what that is, good. Don't find out.
Yeah.
We talked about it in a previous
episode. We talked about it in a previous episode, and I followed through. I'm 15 hours into the first Trails game.
15 hours?
I bought the game, but I haven't started yet. I'm scared, bro.
I think I've only had like in the past like 2 weeks since we spoke about it, I've had like 2 hours free tops.
Yeah. I would never have started playing it if I didn't have my Steam Deck. So I didn't realize this, but when we were on tour, like in America, you could just buy a Steam Deck.
But you can now in Japan.
You can now in Japan. Just now. But we've been on a waiting list for like months and months and months here in Japan. Yeah. So I bought one to Sydney's house and I had a Steam Deck. And I didn't know what to play. But like now I've just been, it's just been my activity to do before I go to bed. It's just a perfect little JRPG. Play, go to bed, and just,
yeah, I really wanted to get it, and I was on the waiting list. I paid to like $10 to go on the waiting list in Japan. Yeah, and I got the email like 3 days ago that was like, hey, you can now get it if you want. Right. And I saw the price. I was like, it's $1,000. And I was like,
damn, it's $1,000
for the good model.
Oh.
It's a gaming PC. It's a portable gaming PC.
I just kind of was like, I actually don't think I'm going to use it. Like, and as much as like, because I really wanted it just because I'm a huge tech guy. I fucking love my tech. I love getting tech. And I wanted to get it just because I really admired the product and I thought what it did was amazing. Yeah. But I just sat there. I was like, I actually just don't. Like, realistically,
am I going to use it?
I don't think I'm going to use it.
Can't play TFT. Not going to use it.
Yeah, I can't. I like it. So, like, TFT just doesn't work on it, right? So, no.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back. No TFT, no purchase.
I sat down and I thought, genuinely, like, what Steam games do I actually play?
Yeah.
And I realized I was like, none. I literally don't play Steam games.
That's why I didn't even get onto the waiting list, because I'm like, I don't play I don't play Steam as it is.
Yeah.
It looked cool. I just thought it'd be fun.
No, because like you say like, do you feel like you wasted a day playing video games? And like, playing the games I am now, finishing God of War, playing the Trail series now, I don't feel like I wasted a day. Actually,
because that's games you like actually like, are invested in and want to play.
Yeah, and I'm going to remember my experience. I'm not going to forget my experience with God of War and stuff like that. That's something that's going to stick with me. And that's why I like story-driven games, right? That's because it's something that I'm going to remember the experience playing this game. I don't feel like I wasted a day by making progress in this game, because I do feel like I am making progress in this game, So it's just like, yeah, I'm going to remember my time with it. So no, I don't feel like I'm going to waste a day.
In that sense, yeah, I kind of have that same feeling with like when I like read a book or something, right? Yeah. Where it's like, some people will be like, oh, am I wasting a day reading a book? Yeah. I was like, well, not really, because, at the end of the day, like a story-driven game, you are remembering a story. And that story,
anything that makes you happy is not
positive or negative way is going to have an impact on you, right? Yeah, what you can choose to use, you can choose not to use. Yeah. But like with like a competitive game, for instance, it's like I'm not as invested in it, because at the end of the day, the only thing I'm going to remember is, was I pissed off at the end of the day? Yeah. Did I make progress? No. Well, then what was the point?
After our Guilty Gear stream, I was like, fuck, I really want to play more Guilty Gear. But I was just like, I really, really do. But I just like, the thing that stopped me is just, I just don't gel with competitive games, right? Because I get to this point where I really like learning competitive games, but when I get past that point and I feel like you're just grinding the ladder, you've learned the mechanics, that's when I start feeling like I've wasted time in this game, you know?
Well, I think the one benefit that competitive games have over story is that like there's a clear start and end to a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you play like Hearthstone, you know, you could play like 2-3 games, 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Done. You can get out. The game is over. You have that window of like, do I start another game or do I just go back to work?
Yeah.
Or do I go do something else, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing that at least like with like Elden Ring, it's like, dude, it's like never, like there's never a break. Like it's always go, story, open world. And so I kind of like competitive games in that sense where like sometimes I will boot up, just play 2 games of Overwatch, go back to work. Like,
It's like
that's
you
like
like
a
the
nice
whole
little
like
reset.
pick up and
yeah,
put down
you know,
type of
if I have
mentality,
lunch and I eat my lunch in 10 minutes, but I believe that I should probably take at least a 30-minute break from doing stuff. It's like, okay, well now I'll play 2 games of Overwatch, then I'll go back to work or something, or I'll play 1 game of TFT. Or I'll, play a game of Hearthstone. I don't play Hearthstone anymore. But that kind of mentality of I like that there are clear start and stop times,
right?
And it's very much up to you if you want to.
See, one thing I realized, because after coming back on tour, there was this like week or 2 week period where I guess like I had to like reacclimate to the normal work schedule again. After
I was right back in it.
You were right back in it.
I got right back in it. Like 2 days when I got back.
Like 4 or 5 weeks until I was like, I need to just like not be in front of an audience for a while. I just need to like be in my own zone. I need to like, I've touched too much grass recently. And it's like, I'm like, I need to not touch grass for a while.
Yeah.
And I just had like a week-long period where I just did nothing but just like catch up on my anime and just play games and I'd go on dates with Sydney and spend like some quality time. And I'm just like, fuck. This is so nice. And I've missed this feeling of, remember when you were in school, right? And it was like a school holiday. And so you had like 3 months or something. So you just spend a whole week playing nothing but video games and watching anime. And you had no pressure to do anything because you knew that the school year didn't start for like another 2-3 weeks or something like that. That to me is like such a magical feeling that I'd forgotten about, because being self-employed, you always think you can be doing something, right? You can be working towards something, right? There is no mental reset of school starts in 3 weeks. Therefore, I have 3 weeks to allow myself to do nothing.
I believe
right?
what you discovered was the feeling of retirement.
Yeah. sounds
like that's exactly what
Garnt wants to retire.
That just sounds like, you're like, the retired life is kind of nice. I don't have to think about doing work.
It's always, the grass is always green on the other side, right?
Yeah.
If you retired after a few months of taking it easy, you'd probably be like, damn, we want to work. I want to make something. You know what I mean?
So what I'm talking about isn't retirement. What I'm talking about is balance, actually.
I know.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
but
because
like the idea of having like 3 weeks off of doing nothing on the same kind of vibe.
3 weeks off is a bit too long. But okay, would you feel bad? If you like now, if you just took a week off, right? Took a week off from work and just played video games.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm not at that state mentally right now where I can do that and feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm kind of at this point where I like taking breaks in between work days.
Yeah.
I'm like a break workday kind of mentality. I don't like just doing like the full like work for 1 week and then you can take a break for 1 week.
Yeah. We're extremely lucky in a way where we actually have a choice.
Of course.
We can decide, hey, I want to take a week off.
How busy we are is completely up to us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't have that choice. And I think just being the ability to be able to take a week off is like, I don't know, even in that itself is like, that is kind of fulfilling in a weird way, where it's like, even though I'm not going to take a week off, knowing I can kind of helps me, keeps me motivated in a weird way.
I'm grinding now so I can retire faster.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like, okay, I've worked really hard on all of this YouTube stuff, and of course we're all very lucky. We're extremely lucky, right? But we also I think we work our asses off.
Yeah.
And I think knowing that, hey, if I want to take a week off or I want to take 2 weeks off, and I have the ability and we've worked to the point where we have that option, I think, okay, that enough is like very fulfilling.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily need to take them off.
Yeah. Yeah, because like guaranteed, there are people watching this that will just take a week off just to fucking do nothing, right? And
I think a lot of people don't like. They get the week off. It's like this is your week off now.
Yeah,
because that's like how normal.
Yeah, and all the more power to them, you know.
Yeah.
And do it, fucking do it.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, because like for me, for example, the reason I said play video games is because I think out of like the three of us, I probably game the least.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, and part of the reason for that is because like mentally, I hate going into a video game. I hate gaming if I know that I got to stop after a certain point. I love going into a video game knowing I will stop when I want to stop. But if I start a video game,
you can't sit down and be like, all right, I play this game for 3 hours and then I turn it off no matter what and start working.
Yeah. I can't be like, I need to be somewhere in 2-3 hours, so I only have 2-3 hours to play this game. Even just knowing that, I'm like, I'm not going to start the video game, because if I'm really into a game, I want to play until I want to stop playing.
That's so weird.
I kind of get that feeling.
Yeah,
but the fact that even if you had like 3 hours, that's a long time.
3 hours.
Well, in JRPG world, it is not a long
time. when I'm into a game, like I was playing God of War for like 5 hours minimum at a point, just because I was so fucking invested.
Right. But like, I love that feeling of like, be like, God damn, I gotta go and do something, and then the whole time you're doing something, you're like, damn, I can't wait to get back to the game, dude. This can be.
You like that?
I love that.
For me,
that's how I know I've got a banger.
Yeah, on my hands. Because I hate that, because for me, like I can't focus on the thing I'm doing because I'm just thinking about the video game.
What if that's like the difference in like the
skill diff?
Skill diff.
Well, I wonder if that's like an ADHD thing, where like I'm fine with that. Like that feeling is fine. I'm content with it. Or maybe it's, I don't know. Like I'm just curious. Maybe
I don't know. I just love the feeling. I think this is with all media for me. I just love the feeling of like being completely absorbed into something.
I do fucking hate it if I have to stop watching something on like Netflix or something halfway through like an episode. Yeah, that pisses me off, because I'm like, can we at least stop at like a checkpoint? Yeah, like if like the documentary is like a 40-minute long 3 eps or something, and I have to stop 30 minutes in, I'm like,
well, that's the same with like a JRPG for me. It's like I'd rather, instead of stopping at like the next
save points, right?
No, but like there's save points in a lot of games, and then there are like story transitions, right? Like I would much rather, I hate stopping at like save points before something big in this part of the story is about to happen. I'd rather just power through, if the time lets me, to just power through and get to that point where the story then takes a turn or goes in a different direction. And I'm like, okay, that's a good place to start. It's like, you know, if you're reading a book and you finish like halfway through a chapter versus just powering through and just finishing the chapter.
No, I agree. I think that like, yeah, that's obviously better. But with the game, sometimes those things are so few and far between.
Yeah, it depends on the game.
Points everywhere is because you can just save.
It depends on the game for sure. Yeah.
Modern games have just autosave.
Yeah.
For some reason, JRPGs haven't figured that out yet.
No.
Yeah, it's so weird because I'm playing Trails and it doesn't autosave.
Yeah. So shit is so fucking stupid.
So sometimes I die in a fucking fight or something, or yeah, sometimes I die in a fight and I'm like, fuck, when did I last save? Wait, when did I last have to think about saving before a boss fight? And it doesn't just automatically do this for me. It's been a while.
Back in my day, I saved 3 times just to be sure. I'm like, did I save? But did I actually save? No, did I really save?
Okay, here's the real question. If you manually save, do you just have one save file that you overwrite every time?
Hell no.
Or do you have like fucking 10 million different? Are you a single saver or you're a multi-file?
I bet none of you ever fucking.
I am a multi-file saver for sure.
I'm I don't know, 50-50.
50-50.
I'm like, no,
just keep overriding.
I'm just like, every new checkpoint, I go to a new file, and then if I run out of files, but then if I run out of files, like say, you know, it's like 10 or 20 files. If I run out of files, I go back and overwrite the first one.
Yeah, because you're never going to go back to those save files.
No.
You're not, but it's just
it's comforting to know the selection is there.
It's comforting to know that you could. You could if you wanted to, even though you're never going to. Okay, because I was a single file save Andy for like a while. Yeah, and then I played Persona 5. And then I'm like, no. Every choice my choices have consequences, and you only have a certain amount of time you can spend with people. Okay, this requires multiple saves.
I need to make sure I made the right choice.
Yeah. Did I go back to any of those saves? Absolutely not. But it was nice having that mental safety net just in case I wanted to increase my social link with someone else on that day.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. It's certain
with Persona 5, I actually used those multiple save files because I actually wanted to like go through all the routes, and I was like, I'm not playing through the first 15 hours again. just to end up
you're such a fucking liar. You've completed it like 3 times.
I have, yes. But the first couple of times I was just like, no, just go back to the save file. Then I'm like, no, it's not the same. I'll just start a new file.